If there's someone who can speak to this topic of waiting, in particular waiting as people of faith, people of struggle, people on this side B journey, it's Wesley Hill. I love how he bookends his incredible book, Washed in Waiting. An excerpt from the start of his book reads as follows. So much of my life as a gay Christian, as I will try to describe in the following chapters, has simply been learning how to wait, to be patient, to endure, to bear up under an unwelcome burden for the long haul. Taped onto my desk where I write is a small sheet of paper with a quote from the German poet Rainer Maria Rilke. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart. Having patience with your own weakness is, I think, something of what Paul was commending when he described the tension of living on this side of wholeness. When God acts climactically to reclaim the world and raise our dead bodies from the grave, there will be no more homosexuality. But until then, we hope for what we do not see. Washed and waiting, that is my life, my identity, as one who is forgiven and spiritually cleansed, and my struggle, as one who perseveres with a frustrating thorn in the flesh, looking forward to what God has promised to do. That is what this book is all about. And after Hill tells this story through his book, his closing paragraphs read as follows. Homosexuality calls us to consider our own lives and to trust in the mystery of God's providence and his gift of redemption through Christ. With patience and openness to the good that may come even from evil, we can learn to hear the voice of our sexuality, to listen to its call. We can learn to appreciate the value of our story and the stories of others because God is the potter or storyteller. Slowly, ever so slowly, I am learning to do this. I am learning that my struggle to live faithfully before God in Christ with my homosexual orientation is pleasing to him. And I am waiting for the day when I will receive the divine accolade, when my labor of trust and hope and self-denial will be crowned with his praise. Well done, good and faithful servant, the Lord Christ will say. Enter into the joy of your master. As I look on my own life, as I just focus on this year, 2021, I know God is doing great things. Not just increasing the size of our community, but the quality of it as well. I look back on countless Zoom calls and a weekend retreat in Georgia. I see the fruit of this work, of this ministry, of not just my life and my story being useful, turning into something, but of so many, more and more, year after year. God burying seeds into the ground and watering them, shining his sun and shining his sun. Many of us remain buried, waiting for the day when we break the ground, but so many more of us are blooming and blossoming and growing to places we never dreamed possible. I have to believe that he's not done yet, that there is more harvest to come from one season to the next, because this is life, a never-ending chain of seasons. I've fallen in love with this song, aptly called Seasons, sung by Benjamin Hastings of Hillsong United. The lyrics to that bridge read as follows. I can see the promise. I can see the future. You're the God of seasons. I'm just in the winter. If all I know of harvest is that it's worth my patience, then if you're not done working, God, I'm not done waiting. You can see my promise, even in the winter, because you're the God of greatness, even in a manger. For all I know of seasons is that you take your time. You could have saved us in a second. Instead, you sent a child. And so, fellow sparrows, as we wait in this season of Advent, may we slow down, even stop, to savor the story being written. This story of Christmas, the story of us, of God not saving us in an instant, but in taking his time, writing a story of redemption that spans the seasons, conquers the ages, of his very stepping into our story, the human story, becoming man, and not just a man, but a baby, identifying with our story from the very first page, and through our teenage years, our comings of age, our work, our ministry, and all the way to death. May we take heart that this God we follow, the God we orient ourselves toward, every aspect of ourself, the God that we wait for, endured all that we suffer. May we be reminded in this season that he knows our hardships, our sorrows, our guttural laments, knows them firsthand, and we are never alone. Let us hold our sorrow, our inner turmoil and tension with one hand, while we also wait with hope, wait expectantly, waiting well with the other, trusting that our unsolved hearts will one day be solved. Whether you find yourself in a season of summer abundance or deep in the throes of bitter winter, the God of greatness is grooming something even deeper in you. He isn't finished working. He isn't finished harvesting. He hasn't finished this story. The God of seasons is just as much with you now as he was before and as he will be with us evermore. May we hold true to this truth from one season to the next, from this Advent to the one to come.